Good, happy Sunday morning, January 26th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday morning, so let's begin. First up, Ringe Police store clerk fires at suspect after being stabbed during robbery. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
Infinity Home. Disarm the system. Doors open!
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Secure your home with X1 and customize your security with Xfinity Home. Awarded top pick by CNET. Simple, easy, awesome.
The two men, Ringe police say, walked into the north of the border food mart on Route 202 Friday night. One armed with a knife, the other a gun. The two jump over the counter and begin attacking the clerk. Officers were called to the scene around 9:30.
He had a single abdominal, I'd say a penetrating wound, appeared to be from a knife, and some other injuries to his body. Admitted that he had just been robbed by two individuals.
The clerk was taken to Haywood Hospital in Gardner, Massachusetts. He has since been released and is back home recovering. Police say during the attack, the clerk managed to grab a gun and shot at the suspects as they ran away with cash.
I can confirm that as they were leaving, my clerk fired several rounds in their direction. We are still processing that information. I don't have information as to whether or not suspects were hit.
No one else was in the store at the time of the robbery. Investigators are also looking into whether these are the same suspects involved in a recent armed robbery in neighboring Fitzwilliam.
The suspects did jump the counter in both cases and attack the clerk in both cases. Our clerk was injured. There wasn't. So I do think that there are some similarities.
And if you have any information on who these suspects may be, you are asked to contact the Ringe Police Department. Reporting in Ringe, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Lions Club packs backpacks for youth homeless across state. Lions Club members get together in Nashua to fill backpacks with supplies. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
This is our moment. This is our one shot to defeat Donald Trump. I'm asking you to join me to help turn the page on our politics. That is why I am running for president.
About 1,400 young people in this state struggle with homelessness, so the Lions Club worked together today to help them. Lions Club members were filling backpacks with supplies in Nashua today. More than 80 Lions Clubs in New Hampshire answered the call for donations, packing more than 320 backpacks. They'll be distributed in partnership with Waypoint.
We're going to pass out to young people that are experiencing homelessness or housing instability through our homeless youth programs throughout the state.
It's just been a huge product. There's over 150 Lions here packing these backpacks.
And those backpacks will be distributed through Waypoint programs all across the state.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Nashua 3-year-old in remission is granted wish by Manchester Fire Station 7. Crews of Fire Station 7 in Manchester had special visitor yesterday. Let's take a look at that video from WMUR News 9.
Huge
tax breaks for the rich while the middle class continues to struggle. That's what happens when billionaires are able to control the political system. No more tax breaks for billionaires. We're going to fight for equal pay for equal work, healthcare for all of our people, and a livable wage.
This is such a sweet story. Manchester firefighters at Station 7 had a special visitor today. As part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, 3-year-old Asher from Nashua was diagnosed with leukemia at just 5 months old. But after a year of treatment, he's now in remission. And Asher got an all-access tour of the fire department with his 5-year-old brother, Caleb. He even had the chance to ride in the fire truck. He's so sweet. We're glad he's in.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Very cool indeed. Campaigning in Salem. Biden says there will be no time for on-the-job training for next president. Let's take a listen to that video from WNUR News 9, Jessica Moran.
Huge tax breaks for the rich while the middle class continues to struggle. That's what happens when billionaires are able to control the political system. No more tax breaks for billionaires. We're going to fight for equal pay for equal work, healthcare.
Just 17 days left. And I know you're probably saying, thank God, only 17 days left.
Joe Biden counting down to the New Hampshire primary. The Democratic presidential candidate making a stop at an elementary school in Salem, where he says the next president will inherit a divided country.
I'll respectfully suggest there's going to be no time for on-the-job training. It's going to have to be immediately know what he or she is going to do.
Biden's remarks included a reference to today's impeachment trial.
My guess, if you go back and turn your TV on today, you're going to find the name Biden mentioned many, many, many times. I wonder why he doesn't want to run against me. What do you think? I wonder why.
The crowd also responded well when Biden referenced the plans of the current Democratic field and started listing his own accomplishments.
Passing the Brady bill for background checks that no one thought could get done. Writing the Violence Against Women Act, which no one thought could get done. Making sure that we've eliminated assault weapons that no one thought could get done. Limiting the number of high-capacity magazines no one said could get done.
Some of the biggest cheers came when Biden spoke about taking on the NRA.
I'm the only guy nationally that's beaten the NRA twice, and I will beat them again as President of the United States of America. I promise you. I promise you.
Next up, Biden turns his attention to Iowa, where he has a list of scheduled events. In Salem, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. We can tell you, they needed to have an overflow room for that event yesterday. That so many people showed up. And now let's take a look at your 2020 New Hampshire candidate tracker for today. Let's see which candidates are in New Hampshire today. And here's a look at that New Hampshire candidate tracker for today, January 26, 2020. We have 2 candidates in New Hampshire today. The first candidate we're talking about, Michael Bennett. He has 4 events today in New Hampshire. His first event, Every Child Matters Roundtable in Concord, New Hampshire at 10:30 a.m. His second event, Town Hall at Dr. Norman W. Crisp School in Nashua, New Hampshire at 12:30 p.m. His third event, Meet and Greet in Chester, New Hampshire at 3 p.m. And his fourth event, House Party in Manchester, New Hampshire at 5 p.m. Also in New Hampshire today, Tulsi Gabbard. She has one event today in New Hampshire, Town Hall in Plymouth, New Hampshire at 6:30 p.m. And those are both of the candidates that are in New Hampshire today. Trump's defense team makes case for just 2 hours yesterday. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
The White House has turned on the floor of the Senate President Trump's defense team on the offense today, accusing Democrats of using the impeachment process as a plot to overthrow the 2016 election. This as House impeachment managers filed more than 28,000 pages of their trial records with the Secretary of the Senate. ABC's Kira Phillips on the Hill for us tonight.
Tonight, President Trump's legal team didn't even warm up, opening their defense straight to the point.
You will find that the president did absolutely nothing wrong.
Even getting personal, attacking lead House manager Adam Schiff, going after his summary of the president's phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky at the center of it all.
This is the essence of what the president communicates. I want you to make up dirt on my political opponent, understand lots of it.
That's fake. That's not the real call.
In their 2-hour presentation, the president's lawyers repeatedly discredited the Democrats' evidence that President Trump pressured Ukraine to investigate his political rivals by withholding military aid.
Most of the Democrats' witnesses have never spoken to the president at all, let alone about Ukraine security assistance.
President Trump blasting the, quote, totally partisan impeachment hoax, while his defense team suggested the Democrats are using the trial to influence the election.
They're asking you to tear up all of the ballots across this country.
Some Republican senators saying the defense's case is off to a good start.
Their team entirely shredded the case that has been presented by the House managers.
Tonight, the question of whether the Senate will compel witnesses and documents the president has blocked is still not resolved, but the Republican-controlled chamber appeared unmoved.
They want this to be the first impeachment case in history without a single witness.
Okay, Kira Phillips joins us now from Capitol Hill, watching it all play out today. Kira, in a major development today, Republican Senator Mitt Romney is indicating he may now support hearing from the witnesses.
That's right. This is the furthest he has gone, Tom, saying now it's very likely that he will be in favor of witnesses in the Senate trial. But remember, Democrats will need at least 4 Republican senators to vote in favor of calling witnesses. And right now, even with Romney, it's far from clear that they have enough support for witnesses when that's put to a vote next week. Tom?
Still an uphill battle for those Democrats.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.